104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Big win for UAlbany last night, and now one of the guys who made it accessible for all of us, Zach By, with us.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man? So
doing good.
What happened last night? Tell us about the game.
Can't believe they beat Binghamton. It's like unbelievable.
Tony Kornheiser crying in the corner.
Yeah, no, listen, the last time Binghamton beat Albany, I was in college. And I've been out for years now. I mean, it was 2010 was the last time that Binghamton beat Albany. And it's funny because after the game, there's this, it's totally unrelated. There's this freshman red shirt who comes out after the game and starts like shooting on his own as we're like packing up, the arena's empty. And he walks by Will Brown and he goes, just a heads up, gonna give you problems next year. like, wait, what? You haven't played a minute yet. You haven't beat Albany since 2010, and you're forecasting a Binghamton victory a year in advance.
This
well done.
Wow.
That's bold.
Yeah, because you know what Will Brown needs? Blackboard material. That's what he needs.
Yeah. So, but they handled Binghamton. They did what they're supposed to do. Binghamton just has less talent. Albany can get a caliber of player that Binghamton that can't get. And like I said, it's been 14 consecutive victories. They dominate them. They're up 20-plus in the second half. And it's Albany's won 7 of their last 9 games. So they're playing their best basketball of the year.
And I don't know if it's because of the speed of the game itself or actually what happened on the court, but is Albany picking up the pace? I mean, that was almost an under 2-hour game last night. Is that why they've been winning more games?
Well, yeah, like we slipped the refs a couple bucks and we're like, dude, swallow the whistle. We want to get the hell out of here. It was a fast-paced game. The past couple have been for whatever reason. But Albany, to get back to like the content, they're hitting shots. I mean, we've talked all year like the production from the perimeter has been lacking. You look at the last 3 games; they've been terrific. I mean, Cremo's had 3 threes or more in consecutive games. David Nichols, Devontae Campbell, Dallas Enema, they're hitting threes, and when you hit threes, you're just a different team. It stretches the defense, better driving lanes, and just the elementary level of basketball. The point is to make shots, and when they're making them, they're tough to beat.
You and I are on the game last night. I'm back here in the studio, and we had joked a little bit off the air about this media timeout. I'm watching Duke Carolina last night, and Jay Billis is ripping apart this rule. For those that may not know about this new rule that's been added to college basketball, explain it, and why is that even a rule?
It's really stupid. So typically, there's 4 timeouts in a college basketball game. Soon, the first dead ball under 16 minutes, 12 minutes, 8 minutes, and 4 minutes, they go to a timeout, right? It's a media timeout, TV timeout. Now they added a 5th one. Basically, without explanation, the first time a coach calls a timeout in the second half, they make that a media timeout in addition to all the other media timeouts. Ugh. Basically, it just creates stop-and-go traffic. The game, it ruins the flow a little bit, and it just makes the game longer, which I don't think that anyone would say we're looking for longer games in any sport. I mean, you see what baseball did this past week, raising the strike zone, talking about putting a guy on second base to start the extra innings.
Tomfoolery.
I mean, what? That's just totally different. That's softball.
Yeah.
I don't understand the rule and I don't like it.
Zach By with us right now, of course, Big Board Sports, which you can hear 10 to noon right here on 104.5 The Team. So, all right, so UAlbany turning around. Is Nico Clarith going to help the Saints turn it around, and how the heck did he get back on the court?
I have no idea. I mean, this was one of these things where we spoke to Coach the previous week. We heard what everyone had to say. It was pretty much the conversation was over. Nico Clarith was not coming back to the team. And it's funny because the writer who covers Siena, Mark Singlace from the TU, fielded a question like 20 minutes before tip-offs that says, could we possibly see Nico back this season? And he said, you're not going to see him. You're not going to see him. And then literally within seconds of that tweet being fired off, Nico Clarith's music hit. And he comes out and
he's entering 30 in the
Rumble. That's Nico. Sorry. So yeah, he's out there. He's back. He scored 14 points, and I think more importantly, grabbed 8 rebounds because that shows you what lengths he's willing to go to re-ingratiate himself among the team. Like I'm willing to do dirtier things than just jack up threes. And point blank, Siena needs perimeter shooting. Their number 1 3-point shooter on the year has 31 threes. That's not a lot. Right. Nico Clarith has missed over a month and is still second on the team in made threes with 25. Wow. So they need an X-factor scorer. And if you really want to get over the top and beat a team like Iona in the tournament or Monmouth in the tournament, truly cut down the nets and storm the court, I think you need an extra X factor to put you over, and Nico Clarith possibly could be that. But let's not forget that these type of lengths of like removing a player during the middle of a season who's the rookie of the year, it's very uncommon. So there's a reason why this all transpired. So I would just say monitor the situation. I think it could go really, really good, and we could point back, guys, you and I had this conversation. We could look back at it being the most influential sports moment in the Capital District if they do go on to end up cutting down the nets. But you know what? It also could go the other way because they were not playing well with him. They dismiss him from the team. They start to play well, and now he's back. So we'll just see how it goes.
Well, I mean, imagine this. Duke gets a 1 seed. Siena wins the MAC. And then it's Nico Clarith versus Grayson Allen for all the marbles. For all the marbles.
Yeah, no, it is foreseeable, and I know this is kind of way out there, tinfoil hat.
Yeah, which is always welcome here. Yeah. On Levack and Goz, home of the conspiracy theory.
It is.
We should play X-Files music under the show every day.
So listen, Mulder.
All right, Scully, with
you. It is foreseeable that Siena could go to the NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. They were picked second in the league. The tournament is in Albany at the TU Center, so it's an unbelievably built-in advantage that you can't really put a price on. And then at the same time, Albany, playing their best basketball, have gone to the tournament 3 times in the last 4 years. 2 of those times, they were outside of the top 2 seeds, which they'll be this year. So we saw them win it as a 4 seed, as a 3 seed. We've seen him go to Vermont and do it. It is foreseeable, again, tighten the tinfoil hat, that 2 teams could play in the NCAA tournament. And I just think it's a testament to both coaches and programs to getting their team playing their best basketball at this time of year.
Love it.
Is there any doubt for you that this Monday, and it felt like we asked him the same question a week and a half ago, but at that time it felt like the right answer when Siena played Iona, it felt like the biggest game of the year. Is there any doubt that this Monday, Monmouth versus Siena, is the biggest test for Coach Patsos' team and maybe the biggest game of the year?
There's not a doubt. There's not a doubt. Monmouth is picked to win the league. Monmouth won the regular season last year. They have a fringe NBA guard on their team. They have a tremendous amount of production from the perimeter where Siena's lacking. Monmouth will be the favorite, even despite being in Albany. It'll be the best win of the year, and it will capitalize on what is already the best win of the year this past week against Iona. Like within a 48-hour span, both Albany and Siena registered their best wins of the conference season. Siena goes to New Rochelle, beats Iona, who has owned Siena. They won 13 of the last 15 and bounced Siena out of the tournament the last 2 years. They go to New Rochelle and beat them, and then Albany goes to New Hampshire and beats the Wildcats, who are picked second in the league and has the preseason player of the year and beat Albany last year. And they go both pick up influential road wins. But yeah, to go back to your question, that would be further momentum. I don't think anyone wants to play Siena right now. I really don't. No one wants to play Siena, and I think if you took a anonymous poll in the America East, I don't think anyone wants to play Albany right now.
Isn't it weird? Like they've been the mirror image of each other like all season. Like, oh, they're going to do really well. Oh, they're underperforming. Oh, here they come again. I don't know what's going on. And now all of a sudden they're back. Like they've been the mirror image of each other.
Yep, and I'm glad you said that because college basketball season is the longest season of any college sport, and it's a marathon. And that narrative of ups and downs, it illustrates what teams go through. Unless you're truly like this top tier team, you're gonna have ups and downs. And what we do is we come in and talk about it. So after you lose, against a Vermont team and only score 49 points if you're Albany, or after you lose, 11 consecutive road games if you're Siena, we come in here and talk about it. But at the end of the day, when it all boils down, it comes down to, are you peaking in March? Right. And we're right around the corner, and both teams seem to be trending in that direction.
Zach By with a Super Bills fan. Tyrod Taylor says he will not play for less in Buffalo. Who's your quarterback next year?
I have no idea. I at one time thought that we had enough to win with Tyrod. I have second-guessed that. He doesn't pass the eye test of what do quarterbacks look like that play in January? And they don't look like Tyrod Taylor. And I know this league, and I don't think that he's the guy to get us over. I think he's our best option right now, but I still don't think he's the guy. So if you're Buffalo, you have a decision to make. Do you go with the baseline of what you know with Tyrod that has a very limited ceiling, or do you gamble with a potential higher ceiling with someone like Cardell Jones or going to the draft with a much lower baseline? I don't have the answer who's going to be the starter. I do know that I think our team is trending in the right direction. We're close. But Buffalo is not one of these teams that is such a far cry off. They're close. They won 9 games last year. What were they, 8-8 this year? 8-8 this season. You know, in the NFL, you can pop pretty quickly. The defense was lackluster, and that was the real issue. They have real pieces offensively, and we'll just see. This is kind of one of these, you know, I know this is a terrible, boring sports talk radio answer, but it's one of these wait and see things. You know, are we going to pay Tyrod Taylor $30 million? Guaranteed to remain on the roster. That's a move that if you mess it up, it sets you back another 2 years. I don't know if Buffalo has the stones to roll the dice and move on without him. I just don't know.
Patriots win the East again. That's what I just heard.
Yeah, honestly, like they're already favored to win the Super Bowl, right? The odds are out. The early odds are out. The Pats are favored, and it's them and everyone else.
All right, well, sorry to bring you down.
It's all good.
But we appreciate you, Zach, and make sure you catch them UAlbany games and, of course, 10 to noon, Big Board Sports.
One more thing I have to plug on the way out. This Wednesday, UMBC is coming to Albany. They're a really good team. Albany won down in Baltimore, but Joe Cremo is from Scotia. I'm from Scotia. Joe could have played at a lot of schools. He chose to stay home and play in the Capital District. He just hit 800 points last night. He's still in a sophomore year. He's rewriting the record book. But I said this to say that he stayed home, and I really hope that fans from Scotia come out on Wednesday night because it's a Scotia community night. It's an idea that I had last year. It turned out to be a raging success. We're doing it again. If you're from Scotia or Glenville or really anywhere and you want to come support the community and that kid and the program, you just type in the promo code SCOTIA on the ticket website at UAlbanySports.com. Get a $10 ticket. If you're a kid, it's $8. And I get nothing out of this but just the pride of seeing a bunch of people from my very small community out at the game. So if you're from Scotia, you know anyone from Scotia or Glenville or any of the surrounding areas, you're not going to have to show photo ID. Just hope you come to the game and support this thing because it's a cool cause. And thanks for letting me plug it on your show.
So even though I'm in Latham, if I put Scotia, I still get a $10 ticket?
That is correct.
Just saying.
It's no holds barred. Type it in. Thank you for making that clear.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. No, I appreciate it. And
enjoy the weekend off, by the way, because this is a rare
I get the whole weekend off.
off.
I'm going to see a Led Zeppelin cover band on Saturday night. I'm gonna drink a box of wine, and I'm just looking forward to it. So.
Zach By is the only one I know who brags about a box of wine. Like I'm over here like, dude, I got some Gentleman Jack I'm gonna hang with, but I'm gonna rip open this box.
The box is like the dark colors, though, so you know it's like a good box of wine.
How soon is that's empty? Like how long does it take you to rip through a box of wine?
By Sunday afternoon, I'll probably go through it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start texting him Saturday, I think, just to see what's going on. Thanks, Zach. We appreciate you, man.